Shalom. Today is October 31st. We're in day 391 of the war in Israel. The newspapers today are specifically speaking about the warning for the reserve duty. It says here, warning or notice to all the reserve fighters, giyus, enlistment, kol 4 chodashim, every 4 months. So the reserve soldiers will be needing to enlist every 4 months for the next 2 years, it seems like, because of the war. Even if the war ends, there will be a lot of demand. Another headline here on the front page is that Hayom, today, תקציב המדינה יובא לאישור הממשלה. The state budget, the annual state budget, will come to the approval of the government. And the news is that it comes with great cuts in all sorts of other areas because of the defense budget that's continuing to be so high because of the war. But the first 2 pages are dedicated to Sheikh Qasem's speech. Sheikh Qasem is Nasrallah's replacement. To remind you, Nasrallah was assassinated, the head of Hezbollah in Lebanon. And here Sheikh Qasem is the new person to lead Hezbollah. And his first speech was given. And it says from the very first minutes, it was clear that his speech was not aimed at Lebanon at all. It was more aimed to the Israeli ears, to the Pentagon officers, and to other intelligence forces, American and Israeli. It says, though, the speech was confused and full of contradictions. And here in the cartoon, we see Nasrallah sitting in hell, watching Sheikh Qasem, his replacement, and in his first speech, and Nasrallah says Dardale. Now, Dardale in Hebrew is like a nickname. It's like a slang saying softy, yeah, not good at all, like a doll, not good. They're very soft, not full of anything. So, quite demeaning from Nasrallah in hell. Israel במלחמה. היום, today, הוכשטיין מגיע לנסות להשיג הסדרה בצפון. Amos Hochstein, the American representative, is coming to Israel today for a series of talks in order to come to some sort of calm with Lebanon. The only main condition Israel has is to maintain a freedom of activity and operations in the south of Lebanon, in order to reach a calm eventually, to eliminate all terrorists, all terror ammunition and infrastructure, while Hezbollah, on the other hand, is trying to keep its weapons. That's their condition. And Hezbollah does not want to disconnect their fighting with what's going on in Gaza. But the Prime Minister of Lebanon is just hoping for a ceasefire in the next hours or days. While Hochstein is coming in order to reach a calm with Lebanon, yesterday was another very tense day in northern Israel. Yesterday, the IDF fighter jet airplanes continued to bomb a specific area. It's called Nabatia in South Lebanon, and killed Mustafa Ahmad Shhadi. He is a vice commander of the Radwan force, who are vicious and against Israel. But the main article in this page is actually about the reserve duty, and it reads, Al Hagav Shalem, on their back, Miluim bechol 4 chodashim, reserve duty with every 4 months. And when they say on their back, it's a play on words, double meaning here. This is because the Ultra-Orthodox people, they're not soldiers, the Ultra-Orthodox men are not serving. They are paid by the government to study Torah. They're not educated, it's only Torah. While the common Israeli, who's not ultra-Orthodox, by the way, they could be religious in some way, but not ultra-Orthodox, everybody besides the Haredi community does serve in the army. But now Israel is having a shortage of soldiers throughout all the year. Since the war, Israel has been feeling the shortage of soldiers, and we need the more and more soldiers, and there are so many of them in the ultra-Orthodox community. So this has been an ongoing conflict amongst the Israeli society. Do the ultra-Orthodox guys need to serve, or should they continue to study Torah? But here the news is that in 2025 and also in 2026, the reserve soldiers will be called up for a few months every year. And the reserve soldiers, these are people that are working, they have businesses, they're students, they have families, they are fathers. And to pull them into the reserve duty, it's just a very, very big strain. And of course, the threat over their lives. The IDF is examining pitronot shonim, other solutions. But those solutions will be able to come into fruition only if the male soldiers' service will be lengthened back to 3 years of service. It used to be 3 years. It's shortened now, and they're thinking maybe to lengthen it back into 3 years of mandatory service. That will help a little bit. It's not dealing, though, with the ultra-Orthodox that are not serving. On the left, I'm going to read the headline, Lo nachzor lekan v'niyeh be'eri shtayim. We will not return to here and will be Be'eri number 2. And this is speaking about the northern residents of the northern villages of Israel. The former mayor here of Kiryat Shmona is quoted, I do not believe to any agreement that says that the Gentiles will watch over us. For years, they've seen themselves being watched by Hezbollah. Here is a watchtower. It's fortified cement. It's tall, it's big, it's massive. It's been there for years. The Israeli residents were alarming against this, that they're watching us, they're seeing us, but the government was calm about it. They said, no, everything is okay. And just 2 days ago, this big fortified watchtower was completely demolished. Here it is, flattened out. So the residents are not calm. They see that their warnings and their feeling and their gut feelings were right. They were being watched. There's a lot of ammunition. Tunnels are being exposed, and they're saying this is not safe for us to come back. It's called it meshed. We were spread. It was untruthful what we were told, that everything is okay, but it's not okay, and we're not going to be Be'eri Shtayim. Be'eri, to remind you, is one of the hard-hit kibbutz in the envelope of Gaza on October 7th. So many residents are not planning to go back to the north unless the whole south of Lebanon, up to the Litani River, will be clear. The next headline is a quote. אני מכיר חרדים רבים שהלב שלהם דוקר והם רוצים להתגייס. I know many ultra-Orthodox that their heart is being stabbed and they do want to enlist. This is Rabbi Granot, and he says, I have a lot of hope that things will be sorted out. This is alongside the issue and the conflict about whether ultra-Orthodox should be enlisted or not. But his son, Amitai Tzvi Granot, was serving in the military, and he was killed in the beginning of the war. So this guy is unique. He's a leader. He's a head of a yeshiva, and he's speaking to many ultra-Orthodox young men that do want to enlist, but the community and society around them, the ultra-Orthodox Jews, is not encouraging that whatsoever. He has some sort of initiative and a suggestion. It's a plan with 3 parts in it, and how to help the ultra-Orthodox enlist while still maintaining their identity as ultra-Orthodox Jews and being able to study the Torah while serving in the military. He says it is chutzpah. You know the word chutzpah, the nerve, and rishut. Rishut is wickedness for the ultra-Orthodox not to enlist. He says, you can't put someone in jail, the one that says, oh no, I must study Torah. Studying Torah is the best thing in the world. He says, you can't put them into jail. No, but to ask the government to pay for their years studying Torah, that is chutzpah and rishut, wickedness. I personally do hope there will be a equality in the burden of serving the IDF. And if not the IDF, serve in another organization. It can be civilian. So it's for ultra-Orthodox Jews, but also even Arab Israelis to serve somehow the country that they're benefiting from. Hashivyon banetel is the phrase that's used in Israel. Shivyon is the equality, and netel is the burden. So the equality and the burden. Hashivyon banetel. The next headline, Hayom, today. I think it's the 3rd time today that the word Hayom is appearing in this newspaper. Hayom, today. שרי הממשלה יצביעו על תקציב המדינה לשנת 2025. So the ministers of the government will elect today, will vote for the annual state budget for the year 2025, and there will be many cuts שיפגעו בכיס, that will hurt the pocket of the Israeli citizens. על חשבוננו, on our expense. Now this is It's quite intricate. It's a little complicated, but the defense budget needs to be very, very high. In order for that to happen, there needs to be other cuts. In this blue square, we read Misradei HaBizbuz, the offices that are wasteful, unnecessary. And what they mean about this is that Agaf HaTaktivim, the financial department, has determined that these 10 offices are unnecessary. They're just spare, but they will not be shut down. And we're speaking about millions and millions of shekels every year in the budget because of this. Hamisrad L'Sherutei Dat. Here it is. It's an office for the services of religion. 557 million shekels in the year. Misrad HaChadshanut HaMadע VaTechnologia. This is the science and technology office. It says this is 390 million shekels. Or Hamisrad L'Shivyon Chevrati, social equality and the enhancement of the woman in society. That's 92 million shekels a year. So there are 10 offices like this with hundreds of millions of shekels a year that are just wasteful for the current budget, and they will not be shut down. This is the coalition's issue. In the red headlines, we read who will be hurt, what cuts, major cuts will happen in 2025, and we see here less accessibility to refuah. Refuah is medicine. Briut is health. So it's the Ministry of Health, and it says 275 million shekels will be cut in a year from the Ministry of Health. The next one is chinuch. Chinuch means education. 400 million shekels will be cut from the educational system that's hurting already. I don't understand this. 100 million shekels of it is supposed to be for the higher education, which will be helping the reserve soldiers and helping them in their studies, even though the reserve service was interrupting it, but that's cut. So it will hurt the reserve soldiers. The next is revacha. Revacha is the well-being, social work. And the ones who are hurt from this will be the bereaved families and the people with disabilities and children as well. The next one is tachbura, the transport. There will be less public transportation. That means more traffic, more jams on the streets. So it's harder to get to work. It takes much longer, more accidents perhaps. So as we see, the budget is heavily impacted by the war that's been going on for now over a year. Even the last article shares that kol mishpacha tafsid b'shana 10,000 shekel, meaning every family will lose in the year 10,000 Israeli shekels, which are roughly over $2,500 US. And it explains how. It partially has to do with taxes, but other points as well. So as we see, the war is impacting so much in Israel, and Israel's in a mess, not only defense-wise, but also financial-wise, as the war has so many ripple effects, and even, Israeli families are feeling it everywhere. Thank you for standing with Israel and praying. Thank you for watching this video, and if you liked it, please like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe to All Israel News YouTube channel. This is Rotem again for All Israel News.